oh, you're an anti-Semite or you're a Jew hater. You, man. You. I'm sick of people that are loyal to a foreign government calling me names that aren't true, trying to destroy my character by these foreign traitors. I'm sick of it. And I know I'm not alone. There are many people that go through it just like me. I have never had more personal backlash, more personal attacks than when I criticize Israel. And yes, it does piss me off. I am sick of it. I can criticize America all day long. Nobody says I hate Americans. Nobody says I hate America. Nobody says I'm anti-American. But oh, God forbid I say something about Israel or Netanyahu. Now I'm a hater. Now I'm an anti-Semite. I'm sick of it, man.
We're not talking about the West Bank,
right?
Where just 2 weeks ago, a Christian village ceased to exist because settlers from New Jersey took all their houses. You know, what happens next in the West Bank?
From New Jersey?
Yeah, there are a lot of synagogues in New York, New Jersey, Toronto that have these things called real estate seminars, where you can put your name on a list, and then they call you and say, hey, house just opened up over here in this Arab village that's not Arab anymore. Come and take your house.
You are stealing my house.
And if I don't steal it, someone else is going to steal it.
And 2 weeks ago, the village that the Israelis cleared out was one of the last remaining Christian villages. Drives me crazy.
Wow. So, what do you think their overall strategy is? They eventually want to just take over all Palestine.
I think we should believe the Israelis when they tell us that they believe in greater Israel.
Gaza belongs to nobody but the Palestinians. This is our never again, okay? This is a Holocaust. A Holocaust just happened. A real Holocaust just happened. We will never forget this. You need to tell your children what happened in Gaza. You need to tell them exactly who did it, exactly whose families were involved in this. 85% of Gaza has been destroyed in this pre-planned, controlled demolition of Gaza. Even Netanyahu is on camera explicitly before October 7th saying we need to hit them so hard that they can't come back. All of this began before October 7th, right? So we are supposed to believe that this isn't just, well, business as usual, we got done, we need to get done, and now we can begin phase 2, but we're supposed to thank them. We're supposed to thank the monsters that did this.
Bibi is completely evil and completely destructive. He's using the United States, its economy, and its military power for his own ends. He's a threat. There's no question he's a threat to the Trump administration, no question. But am I madder at him or Lindsey Graham? It's not even close.
I was going to mention...
Bibi Netanyahu is a foreigner, and he's trying to do what he thinks he should do for himself and his country. I get that. What's Lindsey Graham's excuse? What's Ted Cruz's excuse? Ted Cruz says right into the camera, I was elected, my main goal was to help Israel.
I came into Congress 13 years ago with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate. And I've worked every day to do that.
Really?
Ted
How
Cruz
could you
was
get elected on a platform in which you say publicly, my main goal is to help another country? This is deranged. Where's our self-respect? I'm very interested in how American leaders could betray their own country. That enrages me.
Courage.
AIPAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down.
Sacrifice.
Congresswoman Bush, history will remember that you sacrificed your career for the biggest moral cause of our time.
Patriotism.
Our government sends our tax dollars to the Israeli military. If this body is looking for something productive to do with $3 million, instead of funding a military that kills Palestinians, I have some communities in St. Louis City and in St. Louis County where we desperately need investment, where we are hurting, where we need help. Let us prioritize funding there.
But her push to invest American tax dollars at home instead of sending them to Israel crossed the Israeli lobby's red line, so they tried to silence her.
I got a message from someone in the community. AIPAC said to tell you that they know you're not going to change your stance. You're not going to change your position. They got it. They just want you to be silent about it.
When she refused to stay silent about Israel draining America and dragging us from one disastrous war to another.
The first victory in Afghanistan makes the second victory in Iraq that much easier. The second victory in Iraq will make the third victory that much easier too.
We are anti-war, we are anti-occupation, and we are anti-apartheid, period.
AIPAC poured millions to silence her voice.
Pro-Israel groups spent heavily to try and oust Bush.
AIPAC has launched a $7 million ad blitz trying to oust Representative Cori Bush.
Cori Bush be defeated in an $8 million campaign because AIPAC basically bought Wesley Bell, the St. Louis County prosecutor, to defeat her.
Replacing her with Wesley Bell, whose only job is to keep funneling American tax dollars to Israel.
Within the past 2 hours, a contentious town hall debate wrapped up with Congressman Wesley Bell in downtown St. Louis. A group of demonstrators showing up,
questioning his support from pro-Israel interest group AIPAC.
And just when they thought they had silenced her for good, Cori Bush declared her bid to take back her seat from AIPAC.
Cori Bush.
Cori Bush.
She's back. The former congresswoman is officially launching her campaign
to keep fighting to invest American tax dollars in our communities, not in Israel's wars. Her victory would be historic. Never before has anyone staged a comeback against AIPAC's machine. So, which campaign do you think will win this race? Cori's America First or AIPAC's Israel First?
Flamenco. Dangerous. Return of the Tartar. Pequot. Yo, easy as 1, 2, 3. Thanksgiving, 2 letters. FD. God must have headphones on. God must have headphones on. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Nice. 2 letters. FD. God must have headphones on. I don't care how many pennies you got, shit still don't make sense. Fingers are not as strong as making a fist. You can tell who's who when they start silencing the truth. And you can tell who's who when they really don't fuck with you. And that's okay, good luck to you on your journey. School's out of session when they stop learning. I got buckets of water for when the buildings start burning. God must have headphones on cause he don't hear them yelling. She's a bitch, he's a snitch, licky faucets. One puff off the blunt, the nigga started coughing. Smack fire out the honey trap, bring my money back. Feed the bitch Scooby snacks, hit them with the goofy dap. Oh shit, bomba clock, she's an undercover cop. Between her panties and her pussy, she got a Glock. Unfortunately, she got shot. I liked her a lot, loved her, but nothing above her but me. Don't ever put in jeopardy my ability to be free. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. 2 letters, FD. Don't fuck with me, come to find out the bitch was Israeli. Look down at my feet like don't fail me. Phone bug, what the fuck? Look in the mirror, they tailing me. Ashkenazi, Northeast Africa's what they telling me. This is not music, not a movement, maybe something therapeutic. Maybe I'm fucking with you, something to confuse you with. You're chosen by God, why you do all of this? If you bitter at Hitler, why you bombing the Gaza Strip? If you chosen by God, why you doing all of this? If you bitter at Hitler, why you bombing the Gaza Strip? If you chosen by God, why you doing all of this? If you bitter at Hitler, why you bombing the Gaza Strip? If you chosen by God, why you doing all of this? If you bitter at Hitler, why you bombing the Gaza Strip? I don't care how many pennies you got, shit still don't make sense. Fingers are not as strong as making a fist. And you can tell who's who when they start silencing the truth. And you can tell who's who when they really don't fuck with you. I don't care how many pennies you got, shit still don't make sense. Fingers are not as strong as making a fist. And you can tell who's who when they start silencing the truth. And you can tell who's who when they really don't fuck with you. And that's okay, good luck to you on your journey. School's out of session when they stop learning. I got buckets of water for when the buildings start burning. God must have headphones on cause he don't hear you yelling. Revelations chapter 2, verse 9. You must be out your goddamn mind, you think I'm hard to find. Fear tactics, doctors practice, hell or heaven. What's up ladies, 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. God must be up there ignoring the genocide, while pastors are down here tithing you and I. I'm trying to figure out why they trying to stop me. Kaiser Sose, hit them with the Kobayashi. Okay, Epstein's Milikowski, Netanyahu's Milikowski. Oh shit, now I know why they're trying to stop me. Because Epstein's Milikowski, Netanyahu's Milikowski. That's why they're trying to stop me. I don't care how many pennies you got, shit still don't make sense. Fingers are not as strong as making a fist. And you can tell who's who when they start silencing the truth. And you can tell who's who when they really don't fuck with you. And that's okay, good luck to you on your journey. School's out of session when they stop learning. I got buckets of water for when the buildings start burning. God must have headphones on cause I don't hear you yelling.
company was sold. Here's who bought it.
Right.
Here's one of their biggest donations is to a foreign country's military.
TikTok just got sold.
I do know.
Okay. To Larry Ellison, who is the single largest private donor to the IDF in the world.
I just learned that recently as well.
Yes.
We'll do everything we can to support the country of Israel.
It does seem interesting that the largest social media app in the world was recently bought by the largest donor to the IDF.
To the Israeli military.
To the Israeli military, Larry Ellison. His son recently purchased Paramount, which includes, CBS News. There are talks for the Ellison family to buy Warner Brothers, Discovery, which owns CNN. If you point it out, I will be called a conspiracy theorist or something.
Anti-Semite for sure.
Whatever it is, you know what I mean? But everything I just said was just a fact.
Those are just facts. You said a company was sold. Here's who bought it.
Right.
Here's one of their biggest donations is to a foreign country's military.
Yeah.
No, these are all just facts.
I'm one of a handful of people that don't take corporate PAC money.
What about APAC money? You take APAC money, don't you?
It's a minuscule percentage of my resources come
I
from.
read it's like 800,000.
Yeah, but that's a lifetime number.
When you did your 25-hour speech, I was like, go, Corey. I love this. That is amazing. And then there's a photo shoot with you with Benjamin Netanyahu. And I was just like, what in the actual Like, how can he do that? It was heartbreaking. I felt betrayed. I felt like it diminished your 25 hours. That's how it felt to me. Do you think he's a war criminal, Benjamin Netanyahu? Do you think he's a war criminal?
Again, these are questions that a lot of people think are the important litmus tests that are loaded and hot. My urgency is to be an effective leader in bringing an end to this crisis. And I get these questions all the time that, to me, undermine my urgency.
I think the thing that Democrats get so frustrated with, where we are right now, where you see like the Zoran Mamdanis and the Graham Plattners rise up, because they can go on podcasts and you can say, do you think Benjamin Netanyahu's a war criminal? And they just say, yes. And that's the end of it. It's not all of the rhetoric answering. It's like what happens to Democratic politicians, they go through this like prism, and then we can't ever get like the answer to yes or no conversations.
Much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, here's my thing. Okay. They just cannot criticize Israel. There's really something to that. I mean, it's kind of wild when you're in it.
Oh my God, I've supported Israel all these years. This is what Israel's doing. Oh my God. And then anger at Israel for misguiding me all my life and getting me to support the maltreatment of Palestinians. Then my anger turned in on itself and I got angry at me for being such a dupe and being so ignorant and never checking anything out. And then shame and embarrassment arose. And then finally a great sorrow for the Palestinian people for all that they had been through. But I agree with Noam Chomsky that this propaganda stands on thin ground. That's one of the reasons why people become so hysterical when they're confronted with the facts, because they know they actually don't admit it. Most people I've met, they don't admit that they've never studied the history, but deep down they know they haven't studied the history. So when you confront them with a revision that proves that what they believe was completely wrong, they can actually become hysterical.
There are some decent, honest Republicans. You have somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, you know what? I was elected by my constituents. That's who I am beholden to.
We sent $30 billion to Israel in 2024 alone. Stop sending the money to all these foreign countries and let's actually spend it on Americans and actually fix the system. I am genuinely angry on behalf of every American, even if they're a Democrat and they don't like me.
Yeah.
I'm upset for them as well, because here's how I see our country. It's like we're all in a little house together. This is all our home.
We're not going to vote for anybody who takes AIPAC money.
I will not vote for a candidate that takes $1 from AIPAC.
I will not vote for any politician that takes any money from the Israel lobby.
You take AIPAC money, don't you?
Never taken money from the Israel lobby, have you?
Taken money from the Israel...
From AIPAC.
Do you think AIPAC should register as a foreign lobby?
I've never understood why AIPAC doesn't have to register as a foreign agent.
I saw the way the AIPAC worked, and that was weird.
AIPAC babysitter.
I'm America first. AIPAC is Israel first.
Thank you, AIPAC. Thank you, AIPAC.
AIPAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down.
Yesterday, Democratic Representative Seth Moulton announced that,
quote, I am returning AIPAC donations and I'm refusing to accept any donations or support from them.
Saying not only am I not going to take AIPAC money anymore, I'm returning their money.
Their money is toxic. I don't want it. Here, take it back. Wow, that's a sea change in American politics.
The biggest donor group that runs this administration is the Israeli lobby. It's not a secret. And Trump comes out and says Marian Adelson cares more about Israel than America. He said it all of the American people. He said it.
So I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once. I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say.
He's not hiding it. He told you everything in his speech in Israel. He said it with a smile on his face. He told you the whole thing. He said the truth. I give him credit. He spoke the truth. He looked right at the American people with the Israeli flag behind him, and he said, there's all my big donors, and they care more about Israel than America.
Dual citizenship. They have passports to the United States of America and Israel. Why can these people be in the Pentagon and make war plans when they have a passport to Israel?
How can they be in the House? How can they be in the Senate? How can they be in the cabinet? How can you be loyal to two nations?
Treasury Department. Do you understand what you're saying? They're dual citizens and they have high-profile positions in our government. Yes. What? That just sounds crazy to me. And a lot of people don't understand that this is finally starting to come out into the public, and people are starting to really see how involved a foreign country is involved in our politics.
How can you be on the Intelligence Committee and also have a passport to a foreign country?
Where's your allegiance to?
Everybody wants peace, except Israel. Israel is pushing for war with Iran. I have no sympathy for Israel's policies at all. As an American Jew, I find them disgusting because they have prevented peace. The so-called neocons, who are also the so-called Zionist part of the U.S. government, produced a document that called for 7 wars in the Middle East in 5 years after 2001. And those 7 wars were to take out Israel's enemies. And those 7 wars were Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Somalia, Libya, Sudan, and Iran. And there have been 6 of those wars fought on Israel's behalf.
Donald Trump might be the most Zionist president of the United States in history, but he might be the last one, because Israel is going to be permanently controversialized now. It's the most criminal regime in the world, and they are a dead letter, name is mud on the left, and more on the right all the time. It's something like 50-50 on the right now. People are sick and tired of being lied to and condescended to and used and abused in this way. I mean, for all the people listening to this or watching this, think Benjamin Netanyahu respects you? And this is a guy who has said on multiple occasions, in fact, on September 11th, he told the New York Times,
good for Israel.
This is very good.
I got bars. I got bars.
Yeah. Hey yo, I bust, break, block the ball off the backboard. Hey yo, how he do that? Yo, I'm taller than all of y'all. 140 foot tall, crossover handles with the ball. Pause. Perfection means I got no flaw. For every action, there's an origin to the call. Scrabble the brain when I chin check your jaw. If you want it to stay fresh, put it in jar. I'm a beer distributor. I got bars. War veteran of my own war, I got scar. Out of state plates in every state, I got car. I studied the arts, mastered the art of war. Hit him with the mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Zionism is the parasite, America's the host. These little Kharazarians are doing the most. It's the definition of genocide, it ain't even close. Yo, they kill for breakfast like eating eggs and toast. Yo, whoever they praying to is fucking gross. Yo, we ain't built for our son, cover your toes and nose. Your God miscalculated, he put you too close. Your homeland is Northeast Africa, West Asia area. 740 AD conversion course area to Judaism, but not from the tribe of Judah. Time used despicable book meant to confuse you. The slippery double talk, the glittery double walk. But when it's all said and done, it's never their fault. But to get them, you gotta ignore them being a victim. Sick them like a pizza doors, dogs on all 4. Figure 4 leg lock, lock the back door. Cut the lights off. Eye for eye, one for all. Don't give a fuck, shut the fuck up. What the fuck? Kill them all. One by one, two by two. If it's fuck me, then it's fuck you. 2, 3, 4. Yo, bust break, block the ball off the backboard. Yo, how he do that? Yo, I'm taller than all of y'all. 140 foot tall, crossover handles with the ball. Pause. Perfection means I got no flaw. For every reaction, there's an origin to the call. Yo, I scrabble the brain when I chin check your jaw. If you wanted to stay fresh, put it in jaw. I'm a beer distributor. I got bars.
I got bars. I got bars.
I got bars. I got bars. I got bars. I got bars. I got bars. I got bars. Flamingo. Dangerous.
But the people there are called Palestinians. I want to say something radical. They're not from there. They've been there for centuries. They are from the old Ottoman Empire. So wait a minute. So the term Palestine is a Roman term created by the emperor of Rome called Hadrian, and they call it Palestina, which is a name of a Roman goddess or demon. Created Palestine as a counterattack against the ancient Israeli people. Okay. It's a mess now. You got two factions of people who really don't need to be there. White Israelis and the Palestinians. Who doesn't belong to you and I. Okay. So Israel, the state of Israel, is a fabrication, not the people. Zionism is a fabrication. Zionism is a demonic regime. And the goal of Zionism is global domination. Let's take over the United States, which they have done. Now we're going to take over Syria, we're going to take over Lebanon, we're going to take over Jordan, and eventually we're going to take over Qatar that we bombed a couple of days ago, and we're going to take over Saudi Arabia. But it won't work. So the Zionists have America in a blackmail position because of this Epstein mess. Now Jeffrey Epstein. His real name is not Epstein or Epstein. His real name is Malachowski, the same as Benjamin Netanyahu's real name, Malachowski. You see, we don't follow the money first. We follow the bloodline that would take us to the money, that would take us to the crime. We've been lied to. Senator Ted Cruz said some weeks ago, a month ago, in an interview with Tucker Carlson, the Word of God says, the blessed the Jewish, okay, which ones? These? So you got AIPAC that has both sides. And remember we talked about Baphomet, that two-horned spirit. And then the term uterus, two fallopian tubes, the face of Baphomet. Now, I'm not calling women Baphomet, okay? But God never named that part of the woman uterus. The term uterus means hysteria in Greek mythology. Hysteria, hissing.
Snake.
Hissing, snakes, okay? Paul said to the apostolic body at Rome, the poison of asp is under the lips. Aspartame. You see. So Zionism is a snake, not the people, but the secular, fake Jews at the top, not the people, not the masses, but it's the 13 families that must be destroyed. Now getting back to the Boule. So the Boule Secret Society, it means gatekeepers. They, like Roland Rolaids Martin, Reverend Al Vitamin B Deficient Sharpton, Jesse Jackson Fair. See, they won't bother Farrakhan, not because they don't fear him. He's with them. He's with the system. Okay? He's bought and paid for. He can't stand Malcolm. Malcolm X is more dangerous from the grave than he is alive. Malcolm said, you can't buy me. That's why they killed Malcolm and killed Charlie Kirk. Now you got these Negro Boule, he's a racist. But it's not working anymore. Black folks see through that, okay? So, the immaculate deception of history, the Boule Secret Society, the Pan-Hellenic Great Divine Nine, created in 1930. 9 black Greek letter fraternities and sororities, created by the Boule Secret Society of 9 black men. In the 1969 book by Dr. Wesley, Charles H. Wesley, powerful book. I have a PDF copy, I'll send it to you. The History of Sigma Pi Phi. Dr. Wesley talked about the 9 Knights of the Round Table. You've heard of the Knights of the Round Table. The first 9 families out of the 13 families. From the Rothschilds down to the 9th family, the Lee family, LI out of Hong Kong. Responsible for COVID. That's another topic for another day. Each of the 9 knights of the first 9 families of the Illuminati out of the 13 are to be protected by the first 9 black fraternities and sororities. So then, why? Because the Boulets are designed to protect the system. Then who protects the remaining 4 families, Bishop? The De Medicis, the Orsinis, the Colonnas, and the Farneses. Well, those last 4 families of the 13 protect the 4 corners of the Boule Secret Society, who protect the 9 families. It's the compartmentalization of darkness. Okay? Now, Malcolm X. Well, let's get back to, there's never been a black organization founded by black folk. Okay? We talked about Farrakhan's God. See, they don't want to hear this. I'm going to tell the truth. So this man who was in prison at Alcatraz for murder and for the trafficking of heroin, Farrakhan's God, Nation of Islam's God, whom they call Master Farah Muhammad, Wallace Dodd Ford, takes over the congregation of the Moorish Science Temple of America, which the building belonged to the employer of Claude Green, who worked as a servant, a housekeeper for Julius Rosenwald. Noble Drew Ali comes back to Chicago and wants his church back or ministry back. All of a sudden he dies. I'm not saying, I want the Nation of Islam to hear me. I'm not saying that your God, your Mahdi, your Messiah, okay, Wallace Dodd Ford murdered Noble Drew Ali. I'm not saying that. But when I am saying that when he came back, when Noble Drew Ali came back, when the heat died down, he ended up dead. And so did Claude Green. So, Master Farad Muhammad, Wallace D. Fard, flees Chicago in 1930 and goes to Detroit, Michigan. Begins to mentor a young man by the name of Elijah Poole. Okay. who they call the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And then the rest is history. Malcolm comes. Malcolm X was the one that built the nation and was not Elijah Muhammad. Let me wipe some of the anointing off. It was Malcolm X. See, I know a lot of these brothers, they don't want to hear this, who are in the nation, okay? Malcolm X, no one knew outside of black America who Elijah Muhammad was. When Malcolm X got out of prison, okay, in what, 1953, there were probably barely 400 members in the Nation of Islam. At Malcolm X assassination, there was over 150,000. Malcolm built that. But where did the Nation of Islam get the money from to build colleges and universities, cleaners, grocery stores? Not by selling fruit bags and bean pies or bean pies. No, that money came from a white man out of Texas, H.L. Hunt, Harold Lafayette Hunt, a multi-billionaire oil man from Texas. H.R. Hunt Truckee, was involved in the Kennedy assassination. The day before the Kennedy assassination, Kennedy was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. The night before, on the 21st, leaders of the CIA, FBI, with J. Edgar Hoover, his lover, girlfriend, Clyde Tolson, members of the NSA, National Security Agency, members of many of these generals from the Pentagon, the State Department, the DOD, the Department of Defense, and the DOJ, Department of Justice. Also, along with them, all of these other ones, like members of ABC, CBS, NBC, Reuters, AP, UPI, met in the home of another oil billionaire by the name of Clint Murchison Sr., whose son, Clint Murchison Jr., created the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, Jerry Jones, which exists today. H.R. Hunt's son was a man by the name of Lamar Hunt, who created the American Football Conference, the American Football League, which is called the AFC in the NFL. Lamar Hunt. His son, Clark Hunt, is the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs. You see, all mob ran. Okay, I got to be careful. So then now, H.R. Hunt gave Elijah Muhammad millions of dollars from 1955 to 1975 until the death of Elijah Muhammad, millions of dollars a year. Why? Because H.R. Hunt, along with supplying money, not just to Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam, but also H.R. Hunt, the puppet master, was supplying $100,000 a year to George Lincoln Rockwell, the creator and the leader of the American Nazi Party. Why? Because H.R. Hunt feared these two entities, the Nation of Islam and George Lincoln Rockwell, the American Nazi Party leader. Malcolm found this out. Malcolm left the Nation of Islam, not just because Elijah Muhammad was sleeping with teenage girls, but Malcolm found out that a white man, now Nation of Islam is supposed to be white, supposed to be pro-black, anti-white, okay, pro-black. The white man is the blue-eyed devil, okay, but a blue-eyed devil was giving you millions of dollars, not through bean pies and fruit bags, restaurants, cleaners, colleges, universities. No one from the Nation of Islam will ever admit that. I have receipts. So then, Malcolm found this out. But Elijah Muhammad, who feared JFK, he talked about JFK, but at the same time, he feared JFK because if JFK ever gets killed, wait a minute now, we can lose our money because we got Malcolm X is exposing my money train. So H.R. Hunt told Elijah, you got to silence him. So Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam sat Malcolm down for 90 days as a pretext. Malcolm was always talking about JFK. Malcolm was always talking about the Kennedy administration. But why was it that the Nation of Islam, especially Elijah Muhammad, feared Malcolm because Malcolm was exposing the chickens coming home to roost. Okay. Malcolm was not defaming JFK. He was just saying, okay, all of your foreign policy, JFK, going back to Eisenhower, going back for the past 50 years prior to 1964, your foreign policy, you took out Patrice Lumumba, you've taken out African Archibalite leaders, you've taken them out, now the chickens have come home to roost. Okay. So you have FBI moles within the Nation of Islam, saturated throughout the nation. It got back to Elijah Muhammad. But why are you sitting Malcolm down now when Malcolm had been talking about this man for years? Your money train is all about money. Okay. After 90 days, we want you to sit down on a permanent basis. Malcolm says, it's time for me to go. Malcolm then became more dangerous. So the Nation of Islam was created by a white man, their God, whom they call Nasser Farad Muhammad. Okay, Wallace died for it, a white New Zealander. The NAACP was not created by black folk. It was created by Henry Moskowitz, a Khazarian attorney out of Eastern Europe, and the Spingarn brothers out of Romania. So Khazarian Jews created the NAACP and still run it to this day. NAACP, Korsnick Urban League. Black faces, Zionist money. Okay. Boules. So wait a minute now. Now who was working on Malcolm X's autobiography? Okay. The writer of the Root series, Alex Haley. Alex Haley, unbeknownst to Malcolm, worked for the FBI. Now the part Malcolm didn't know that Alex Haley was working for Reader's Digest, along with Alex Haley's best friend, okay, Albert Balk, who was an FBI informant, also helping Alex Haley work on Malcolm's biography. Malcolm X gets assassinated. 3 months after Malcolm X's assassination, in May of 1965, 3 months after Malcolm X was assassinated, 3 chapters are taken out of Malcolm's book, his autobiography. Why? The last will and testament of Malcolm X, where he said that in '64, he voted for Barry Goldwater. Wait a minute now, I thought Malcolm was a racist. Malcolm was not a communist, he was not a Marxist. Malcolm was not a racist, Malcolm was a black conservative. But the system does not want us to know that. And if Malcolm was alive today, he would never vote for Kamala Harris, for someone like that. No. Someone like President Trump, Malcolm X could sit down and talk with. That's why they shot Malcolm like a dog. And nothing has changed. Now, I don't believe that the Nation of Islam was involved. Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam created the atmosphere for Malcolm's assassination. CIA, FBI, and a rogue element within the New York Police Department called BOSSI, the Bureau of Special Investigation. It was a rogue element of FBI officers posing as NYPD officers. Infiltrated Malcolm's organizations. Muslim Mosque Incorporated, which was the spiritual foundation of Malcolm X, and built on top of that was Malcolm X's political paradigm, the OAAU, okay? The Organization of Afro-American Unity. The week before Malcolm's assassination, a company out of the UK called Serco, S-E-R-C-O, bought the Audubon Ballroom a week before Malcolm's assassination. Who's Serco? They provided the 19 hijackers of 9/11 with passports. That's Serco. Okay. They bought the Audubon Ballroom. Don't tell me it was. It wasn't no 6 to 9 black men that took him out. No, it was not. The government, the Central Intelligence Agency, the FBI, Lyndon Baines Johnson helped take out Malcolm X. I told you, for a bucket of chicken and 2 butter, nothing has changed. Okay? And then from Malcolm, we come up to President Trump, who's making America great again. He's keeping his promises. Charlie Kirk. Okay. Charlie Kirk was set to become president in 2028. I think the mistake that Charlie Kirk made was you see, when you tell people too much of your business, let me wipe some of the anointing off my glasses. You see, Charlie Kirk, may God rest his soul, he's with Christ. The mistake he made was the same mistake that Joseph made over 5,000 years ago in the book of the Genesis. He told his brothers, God gave me a dream. I want to interpret the dream to you. Okay? So the 11 stalks of corn bowed down. They bowed down to me. See, Charlie, brilliant man. But he told too much of his dream too soon to too many people. Between him and J.D. Vance would have never beaten Charlie Kirk for the presidency. Never. The day before the Charlie Kirk assassination, there was unusual trading on Wall Street, okay, of a company that was sold, and their stocks are sold on Wall Street, called Turning Point Brands. No relation to Turning Point USA, okay? But Turning Point Brands, their stock was sold into the millions on the day before Charlie Kirk's assassination. What does Turning Point Brands have anything to do with Turning Point USA? Turning Point Brands had committed millions of dollars to Turning Point USA, going back to 2012, to the creation of Turning Point USA. I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming Turning Point USA. Turning Point Brands. So the next day, Charlie Kirk wasn't even supposed to be in Utah. He was scheduled to be at Virginia Tech University. Okay. Why Utah? According to Utah state law, any event doesn't have to have first responders. No ambulance. You see, this is how, and they're telling you and I that a 22-year-old snot-nosed kid was behind this. Stop. Okay? We got him, wait a minute now, 4.5 hours after the shooting, the BBC out of London had a biographical picture of this young man, Tyler Robinson, who never shot a gun before. Never. How did the BBC know that only 4.5 hours after Kirk's assassination, this was the man? Whereas the FBI didn't even catch him until another 29.5 hours. Just like Oswald, okay? Biographical picture, everything about, see, these are patsies, okay? So, Charlie Kirk was a threat. He was running for the presidency in 4 years. He said to Netanyahu, I don't want your money. I'm not coming to Tel Aviv. He signed his death warrant.
Yeah.
So just like JFK's security, Charlie Kirk's security was involved. On his right-hand side, on his left, not just two shooters in front in two separate buildings, there was a shooter behind him on Charlie's right-hand side, on the building behind him. But they want to tell you and I that this snot-nosed kid, okay, he assembled the gun, never shot it before, shot Charlie, disassembled the gun, put it in his backpack, jumped over the side of a building, left the screwdriver on the top of the building, went to the woods, took it apart, but you left your tinsel, your screwdriver on the top of the building. Okay. You took it apart. You racked it in the town. Now, Cash Patel said, no, he put it back together. But he left his screwdriver on the top of the building. But his DNA was on the towel. And it had the shell casings and the bullets with transgender codes. Okay. He ran and changed 3 more times. One part of the video, he is limping, and on the other side of the town, he's walking. An SUV pulls up with him gone. 29 and a half yards later, we got him. We're being lied to. I want to know why. Why was it necessary for the deep state to put a bullet in that man's throat and crack his spine into? Why? Because he would not kiss the behind of Zionists. He would not kiss the behind of Bill Ackman working for the Zionists. Bill Ackman had invited Charlie Kirk back in August, okay, to the Hamptons for an intervention. See, Bill Ackman owns part of the Gaza Strip as far as the real estate. Bill Ackman in the Zionist government under Netanyahu want to ethnically cleanse Gaza to create hotels, sports and spas and sporting events. Okay. Well, we're killing Hamas. No, but you created Hamas, Malachowski, Netanyahu, during the 80s. So you create an enemy and you bomb the people to just that. You see, it's all lies. So these people here in the United States that follow Christ, we gotta support the nation. No, okay, stop. You're supporting genocide. You're supporting Zionism. The masses of the Jewish people, they're innocent. I'm talking about the secular, these devils at the top. So wait a minute now. So Charlie told Bill Ackman back in the Hamptons in August, I don't want your money. And Bill Ackman turned on him. Okay. So Bill Ackman turned on him. One of my favorite journalists, a colleague of mine, Max Blumenthal, wrote a great piece for the Gray Zone about what happened to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was threatened by Bill Ackman. That we don't want any more anti-Zionists at your events. We don't want anyone talking about the state of Israel. Wait a minute now. I can't have my own mind? No. Okay. Then Charlie Kirk began to expose the Zionists. You see? And then Charlie Kirk was told, let's move the event to Utah. No first responders, okay? And he was not taken to a hospital. Thank God for my contacts in the government. He was not taken to a hospital. Okay. So the crime scene was contaminated. No FBI, no cops there. So you got people who were supposed to be Charlie's friend, okay, involved in the conspiracy. One guy with sunglasses took a chair that Charlie was sitting on, stayed on it, and taken down a camera, which was really a hologram camera. There is a hole beneath the tent that people, I'm not saying that Charlie Kirk is alive. Then the following day, that hole was filled up with cement.